for all of us, it's a time of massive change. We now have a new head of state, King Charles III, and of course a new Prime Minister, Liz Truss. As life returns to normal, Liz Truss is under pressure to deal with some massive problems for the country. So Braden headed to Downing Street to find out more. Hey Braden, so you made it to Downing Street then. What have you found out about our new Prime Minister?
Hey Maya, so you're right, her name is Liz Truss, and she used to be in charge of international affairs, but now she's in charge of the country, and she's moved into the government HQ, the home of the government, number 10 Downing Street, which is right there.
And she has some urgent things to take care of, right?
Yeah, so she's got two main issues that she has to deal with. Number one being the rising costs of things like food and energy, and the other one being the war in Ukraine. I've put together a little report to explain it all. Here it is. Liz Truss got the most votes from members of the ruling Conservative Party to replace Boris Johnson. He resigned in July when a growing number of Conservative politicians criticised his leadership and behaviour during the pandemic. So here's what I found out about Liz Truss. She was the Foreign Secretary, the government minister in charge of the UK's relationship with other countries. And she does change her mind a bit.
This party, unlike Labour, will not duck and weave from debating the issues people are interested in.
She started her political career in a different party, the Liberal Democrats, and then switched over to the Conservatives. She supported the campaign for the UK to stay in the European Union, but then supported Brexit after a majority of the public voted to leave. Well, let's hope she doesn't change her mind about being the Prime Minister. She's got some really big issues to deal with right here in the UK, urgently. The price for just about everything is soaring at the moment, from food and clothes to petrol, electricity and gas. That's because they're all in short supply. The COVID pandemic meant that many things were not made for a long time, and the war in Ukraine has also led to a shortage of food ingredients we get from the country. Russia, which invaded Ukraine, is also making it difficult for many countries to get a hold of gas and oil, leading to sky-high energy bills. Since she's been back to work, the Prime Minister has been in face-to-face talks with world leaders, including President Biden. The talks have focused on the war in Ukraine. In recent days, the Ukrainian army has taken back control of a huge area of the country from invading Russian troops. Liz Truss is also hoping world leaders can work together to bring down the cost of things. Meanwhile, she has announced a limit on how much all families and businesses in the UK can be charged for gas and electricity, and plans to help our parents keep more of the money they earn. So while the Conservative Party was focused on electing a new Prime Minister and a new leader for many weeks, very little was done to help struggling families. Liz Truss, though, has promised to get us through these tough times, and I've got hold of some FYI viewers to get their opinion. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
So what do you make of the new Prime Minister?
I'm really glad that Liz Truss is the Prime Minister now, that she is focusing on the cost of living crisis.
I struggle to agree with the points that Kai made. Her response to the cost of living crisis has seemed to be to decrease taxes for the wealthy while leaving the poorest in our society in the exact same position, and that doesn't seem like really the way to go.
Right now, I'm not sure how much I trust her yet, but I think time will tell.
So what do you want from the new Prime Minister?
One thing that I want from Liz Truss is complete honesty and transparency during her time in office.
Yeah, I agree with Lily on the honesty and stuff. So if we can't trust someone that high, then it won't work out that much.
I would personally like to see how she deals with the cost of living crisis, as this is affecting many people and a lot of people are struggling.
My parents are considering, instead of using electricity, just buying a couple of light-up candles, electric ones, and putting them around the house so that we don't have to waste electricity throughout the winter.
My mum is a mobile hairdresser, so she's using her car all the time, and I feel like the gas prices and petrol prices have went up. It's like really hard if she's needing to get from one side of the town to the other.
I think one thing that I hope the Prime Minister does improve upon is school uniforms and how they need to lower prices on that, because families are struggling to afford uniforms here, and the cost to get my uniform and stationery is around £300 to £400.
Yeah, it's ridiculously expensive, I agree. More does need to be done there. So thank you so much for your time, guys, and thanks for joining me. So as we know, the Prime Minister has a lot to do. So Maya, back to you in the studio from Downing Street.
Thanks, Braden. Nice work.